What's up, guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another retro re-review slash showcase type of video. Excuse me. So I mentioned in my last video that one of the videos I wanted to do was talking about a particular gaming icon who just had a birthday. So I thought it would be fun to show off my plush collectibles representations of said gaming character. Um, Unfortunately, I sold a good chunk of my plushies. I had a plush collection, but again, they were just kind of taking up space. I hadn't had them out on display out in the open for a couple of years. So a lot of them, were just kind of impulse buys. A lot of them I didn't mind getting rid of. Had some anime, had some cartoon characters, um, all types of stuff. So these characters, and on top of the fact that these particular plushies of this gaming icon, um, they are kind of sought out, and they're fairly kind of expensive. So I want to hold on to these. I don't know if I'll ever let go. I don't know if I'll ever sell these items. Maybe down the line, maybe. But I do enjoy them. So yeah, let's see. Without further ado, let's see who we are going to talk about. And we have Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes. This particular plush was made by Jazzwares. I got this off Macari a couple of years ago. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't too much. And you see he still has his little tag. It's kind of, dingy and all that stuff, but it's still there. Um, yes, so I adore this plush. Yes, so Sonic has had a 33rd birthday, maybe like 2 weeks ago at this point. So the franchise is 33 years old, which is amazing. The first game, for those who don't know, the first Sonic game came out in like 1991. I've been a Sonic fan for years. I've only played a handful of the games. I probably won't play all the games, which is cool. I haven't really played any of the recent ones outside of like Forces. But I love the character, of course. I love the character. I love, his supporting characters. Shadow is probably my second. Like if Sonic wasn't the main character, like say if Sega, these were just if the characters from the Sonic franchise were just characters created by Sega and Sonic wasn't the main character, Shadow would probably be my favorite character. Um, well, he's my favorite supporting character. Like my second favorite character is Shadow. Um, so yeah, but yeah. So like I said, this plush was made by Jazzwares. Yeah, the material they use for these figures, you see, is kind of, he looks kind of, old, kind of deteriorated. I mean, I would assume this was played with, but you know, he's not dirty or anything. It's just like I said, the material looks like kind of dingy. Like it's material that wouldn't really, like if you were to play with it, you know, a lot, it wouldn't really, last. I guess I don't know how I'm trying to describe it, but he looks dated. I wouldn't say he looks dated. He looks old, you know. But I like him. Green eyes, has a little smile, little smirk, has a loose string, which isn't a big deal. I like the gloves, the feet. Very charming. Like I would love to have this guy sitting out. Like I would love to have these guys, all the ones I show, sitting out in the open. My brother he's going through his Sonic fixation. My younger brother, so he's pretty obsessed with Sonic, and he has a lot of Sonic collectibles. A lot of them I have rather given him for my collection, or I bought a few of them and gave it to him as gifts. Um, so he might have a nut up, so to speak, if he was to see my Sonic stuff out in the open. Of course, he'd want them, and it would just cause a big issue. So unfortunately, for the time being, all my Sonic characters are put away in my closet, out of sight. Um, but like I said, really, really enjoy um, Really enjoy this figure. I mean, really enjoy this plushie of Sonic. So yeah, next up, and I'll show them all together towards the end. Next up, we will show Classic Sonic. Now, this guy, I think I got brand new, again, some years ago. I believe I keep all the tags for most of my figures. When I was younger, I cut the tag off of them. I didn't understand the importance of keeping the tag. It shows their documentation and their authenticity. So I'm really mad about that. Really, really mad I did that. It was so stupid of me. Um, but yeah, like since I got this guy brand new, pretty much, he's in great condition. He's very charming. This is classic Sonic. One little detail I like is this hand is supposed to represent him. That little pose he would do in the old games, classic games. So he has a little pointing finger, um, kind of like that, basically, which is cute. Very cute smile. Of course, the eyes and everything is great. It's just cute little smirk. The back of him. Again, very charming. Very, very cute. Very charming Sonic plush. Um, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles got classic Jazzware plushies. I know the Knuckles is kind of hard to come by. I'm not sure about Tails. Um, so yeah, I've played Sonic 1. I've beaten it. I've played Sonic. I played 2. I played 3. I got further in 2, but I never beat it. 3, never got very far. I played as Sonic Adventure 1. I played 2, never beat it. I haven't played Heroes. I'd like to. I played the storybook games, which are kind of my childhood. Secret Rings, Black Knight. People are kind of on the fence about those, but I really like those games. Um, I'm trying to remember. Like I said, I played Forces. I played Unleashed. Didn't beat it. I played Unleashed. I used to have that one back in the day. I played Colors and beaten Colors. Colors was a lot of fun. Um, I haven't played Generations. I'd like to play Generations one day. The last one I actually played, because I said Shadow was my other favorite character, was Shadow the Hedgehog, uh, on emulator, and that was fun. I just kind of played a little bit of it and then put it down, mostly because some of the controls, I feel like haven't aged the best. Like Shadow's movement in that game is like so slippery, if that makes sense. Like, I guess it was tolerable back then in 2005, but looking, fast forward, they've kind of done better with that issue in a Sonic game. It's kind of hard. Like, oh man, Shadow falls off the edge too easily and stuff like that was very off putting. Um, but I might try to go back and play it at some point. Um, but yeah, so like I said, say all that. I've played a handful of Sonic games. I like Sonic OVA. I've done a review. That was like one of my first TikTok videos. That anime has so much potential, and it's so sad that it didn't, get it. It didn't turn into an official series. It's really, really, depressing because I feel like that could have had so much potential. A Sonic anime in the '90s. Um, but yeah, classic Sonic. Um, and then, like I said, the both of them, especially like say you play Sonic Generations, having that modern and classic Sonic together, sitting together, is just really, really cool. I really like that. Um, so now we have, I just mentioned Sonic Unleashed. We have Werehog Sonic, and mine has a little defect. One fang is longer than the other, or is shorter. This fang is short. This one's long. Again, I dig them. Of course, seeing the trailer for Sonic Unleashed back in the day was mind blowing for what 9-year-old me. It came out 2009, 2008. I was blown away by it. Like seeing him like aggressively turn into a werewolf was, I mean, that was, like I said, that was mind blowing. Like Sonic turns into a werewolf or a werehog. Like that was insane, and that was just like, oh man, I would love to play this game. And gave him stretchy limbs, like he lost his ability to run really fast. So and he would when he would run in the game, he would uh he would run on all fours like an animal, which was really cool, or like a wolf. He has stretchy arms, which were really neat, and could do a lot of cool attacks with that. Um, but basically, like I said, it changed up the gameplay. The day elements were Sonic in the daytime. He was his normal self. That was like the traditional Sonic gameplay, the running, get to the goal, all that good stuff. And the night stages is when you played as the werehog and fought the main big bad of the game. You fought his minions at nighttime, which kind of had like a God of War, the hack and slash beat 'em up kind of gameplay style that was popular back then. Which again I really like, and it had platforming elements and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people just really didn't gravitate to that style of gameplay, and really felt like it really brought the game down. Honestly, I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, so I can't really speak on that. But me personally, I like that, and I'm sure if I went back and played it, I probably would still like that. So everybody's opinion is different, but I personally love the werehog. I think it would be cool if they revisited this concept, but I highly doubt it. Um, these back pieces have, I'm not sure what this material is, but it's a nice detail, really cool. He still has his green eyes. I love the white fur, on his wrist, which is really nice. His blue hands. He lost his gloves. Um, I like his shoes in the game. His shoes turned to like cleats. Like he had sneakers in his regular form, and then when he turned to werehog, he had cleats, and they had like spikes, real aggressive looking spikes at the bottom. And I just thought that was really cool. Um, Another thing before we move on to our next three characters, um, this they made a animated movie which I've talked about on my page, on my TikTok page and my YouTube. Sonic Night of the Werehog. The Japanese animation studio, which a lot of people always felt like could rival Pixar. I'm not sure if they still work for Sega. I think they're still around. They did the opening uh, sequence for Sonic Unleashed when Sonic lands on basically Dr. Eggman's flying ship, air carrier, to confront him, and that's when Dr. Eggman steals the emeralds from Sonic and turns him into the werehog or whatever. Um, Really cool, really really awesome opening scene. Really awesome. Oh man, I miss those days. I miss that era of Sonic when it was, you know, everything was still relatively good. Um, so yeah, they made an animated movie or animated short film. It's about like 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes maybe. Where Sonic and Chip basically, this takes place during them traveling the world trying to, fix the planet. Um, but they stumble upon a old mansion, stormy, pouring down rain outside. They decide to take shelter in this mansion. The mansion is haunted by three ghosts, two boy ghosts and a female ghost. And to win the female ghost's affection, the two male ghosts would take pictures of people who would enter the mansion. Like they would do silly, crazy stuff to scare the people. When the people get scared, they take a picture of them, and whatever picture the female ghost liked the most, she would give them a little kiss or show a little affection towards one of them. So they would always fight for her affection, which was very cute and innocent and charming. And they try to do this to Sonic and Chip. Chip being Sonic's sidekick companion in the Sonic Unleashed game, and they get Chip all throughout the night, and then when they try to get Sonic, while Chip is present with Sonic to or whatever, the moon comes out, And of course, Sonic turns into the werehog, scares the two ghosts. After the female ghost sees the silly pictures of Sonic basically making fun at the ghost, they get really mad and they are able to fuse together into this big muscular green ghost with horns, which has a really cool, kind of gave me Bowser vibes, had a really cool design. And they try to basically get back at Sonic. The fight is kind of a spoiler for this decade old Sonic short film. The fight's kind of one sided. Sonic kind of gets his ass handed to him, unfortunately, because they can turn invisible and he can't detect their movements. But it's still entertaining. I won't spoil how it ends, but it's really good, really well put together. Again, we don't get stuff like that. I mean, they didn't. I mean, Sega really didn't do stuff like that back then anyway. But it really sucks we don't get stuff like that anymore. Um, Let me see. Let me fix the lighting. Okay, so that's enough about Werehog Sonic. Again, I love this plush. He did get a figure by Jazzwares, but it didn't. He doesn't. He didn't have the stretchy. We never got a collectible of him that emulated him being able to stretch his arms, which I always thought kind of sucked. So I might pick that up. Excuse me, one day. Um. Oh. So next we have Tails' best friend. I mean, Sonic's best. I just spoiled it. Sonic's best friend, Tails. This is based off his Sonic Boom incarnation. So I'm not sure what Sega was trying to do with Sonic Boom. I don't know if they were just trying to create a new sub franchise, sub series. They were just trying something different with the Sonic brand. Um, but Sonic Boom consisted of Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, and a character named Styx, the Badger, which she may have been a new character. I can't remember. It had an animated series that had like 3, 4 seasons. Um, the games are not considered that good, unfortunately. They're not considered that good. I haven't played any of them, probably never will. Um, Now, the animated series, on the other hand, where we have Roger Craig Smith voice Sonic. He's been voicing Sonic for, I think, almost a decade now. Um, and the voice actress who voiced Tails in that show, she voiced Tails in the movies, and I think she still voices Tails, so that's really cool. Um, so the animated series is actually really good. Like the writers, they deserve flowers because that show was the opposite of the games. It was funny, it was entertaining, the storylines were entertaining. The way Dr. Eggman was written and his comical moments were very funny and entertaining. Um, my only gripe is I wish we got more characters from the series. Like we didn't get Big the cat, Cream the rabbit, Vector the crocodile from the Chaotix, Team Chaotix. He did appear in an episode, but we didn't see the other two members of Team Chaotix. Rouge didn't appear. I'm trying to remember. No Blaze, no Silver. Like there were so many other cool characters they could have utilized, and it would have been so cool. Like I said, Blaze and Silver have never appeared in a piece of Sonic animated media, to my knowledge. Um, Even Sonic Prime, which there's a few collectibles, like there's a few plushies from Sonic Prime. I wouldn't mind getting. Even with that show, no Silver, no Blaze. Like that was a huge missed opportunity. Again, I don't know if the writers were only given a certain group of characters to utilize or not, or if they could have chose any characters. But yeah, no Chaotix, no Blaze, no um, Silver the Hedgehog, no the characters from Sonic Riders, Jet the Hawk, and his group. I mean, none of those characters were in Prime, which was a huge, huge, missed opportunity. And the same kind of goes for Boom. We did get Shadow, and we did get Metal Sonic in Boom and in Prime. Well, I don't know if we got Metal Sonic in Prime, but we did get Shadow in Prime. Um, And both versions, so back to the Boom incarnations, they were okay. They Shadow and Metal Sonic, they were okay. Um, they just kind of made Shadow a generic butthole, basically, just a generic rival character. He didn't have any of his charm or writing of his video game counterpart. So, so there are collectibles for Boom, which again is really weird considering how poorly received Boom was as a whole. The collectibles are very expensive. Now I got my Tails when Toys R Us was closing down. Um, so I went ahead and snagged them and got them. I would still like to get Metal Sonic and Shadow. Again, I don't know. I'm sure those guys probably go for a lot of money, but like I said, I like the detail on his shoes. He has like this wrapping on his shoes, nice detail. The gloves are nice. He has like this little sash around him. Um, it's a little gold belt buckle detail. I like his goggles. So very charming. Like I said, if you had all the Boom plushies together, I'm sure they would all make a nice little display. Very charming. So I had some more. I had some other slightly rare plushes. I had the uh, was it 25th um anniversary 25th anniversary Knuckles plush. I gave that. I kind of wish I held on to that. I might get it back in the future. I gave that to my brother. Um, I had a Super Shadow plush from GE Entertainment, very well-known company who makes plushies of anime and cartoon and video game characters. They made a lot of good Sonic plushes. I recently gave that to him. Again, I'm sure I'll probably get it back in the future. Um, and I think that's it. I bought him some that I didn't own. I didn't already own. Uh, so it would have been nice to show those two off, but just take my word for it. Those are both solid plushies. The Knuckles was made by Tomy, and like I said, the Shadow's made by GE. I also had a regular Shadow plush made by Tomy as well, but I gave that to my sibling. So yeah, but one I held on to because this is supposed to be a very rare plush because um, we have Metal Sonic, and this is classic, not only Metal Sonic, classic Metal Sonic, which makes him more valuable. So I believe this version of Metal Sonic came out towards the end of Jazzwares owning the license. So that made the amount of, copies of this plush um, very limited. I believe him and Silver were kind of hard to come by for years. Like I said, mine's kind of defective. Like one foot is bigger than the other. I remember I put this guy in the washing machine. I think I washed my delicate, and his foot. I can't see. I think over here, yeah, had torn. I had to sew that back. His arm had came off. This arm had came off, so I had to sew it back, reattach it to him. Um, but he's very charming, very nice posability. Um, I think again he would go great with uh, my classic Sonic. So I don't know if this guy got a modern plush. I don't think so. Not by Jazzwares. I believe GE has made one, and Tomy may have made one as well. But they look good together. They look, they look really cute together. I dig them. He has the cannon detail on the back of them, next to the claws and the yellow and the black, and the little details on his cheek, the screws, everything about him, you know, um, everything about him. I dig him. Really, really dig him. Very charming, very fun plushie. I love this Metal Sonic. So much fun. I forgot. I had the classic Super Sonic that was made by Tomy. That was very, a lot of people It was very sought out when that plush was released. I got that at Target. Again, another plush, which so you see, I've given my brother four, well, not counting the regular Shadow, but three really solid, kind of rare Sonic collectibles. Being me trying to be nice. So it's going on 25 minutes. Last but not least, you see this box has Sonic plush written on it. This is probably the holy grail, one of the holy grails of my collection. I was actually considering selling this earlier this week, but I decided to hold on to it a little bit longer. This plush is a huge part of Sonic's history. So, without further ado, let's see who we will be talking about. Oh goodness. So we are talking about the 1991 little Stringy Sonic plushie. Well, that's the nickname fans have dubbed him, Stringy Sonic. So for those who don't know, back in the day, I think I got this guy off of OfferUp, which I bought in a few rare items from. I think I got him for like $101. I believe the seller had like a video store or something, and they were trying to get rid of some items. This may have been like something their parent had gotten them from Japan or something like that. I can't remember. But it was very nice, very interesting story they shared with me. See, he has his tush tag. It says Sega, made in Korea, 1991. So yeah, he may not look like much, but believe me, this is a very rare, very, very sought out plush. Very sought out. You can probably find them for like $100, a little over $100. So for those who don't know, back in the day, the only way you could obtain certain plushy stuffed animals was in claw machines. Which again, if you weren't the best at playing that claw machine game, then that would kind of suck for you. You couldn't just walk into a store and just buy it off the shelf. Of course, that's changed, but they still have claw machines. But something like this, you would be able to buy it online or in a store. You see his ears, his eyes, his spikes, his not thorns, his spines on the back, his tail are all made of felt. His hands, his feet. So they all have, and his limbs are kind of like laces, basically, rope material. And he has a cute little smile. So I dig that. He's just very, very charming. So in this wave, there were, I forgot the name of the claw machines were called Sega Catcher, something Catcher. I forgot what it was called. It was Dr. Eggman and some of the little animal characters that Sonic would rescue when he would, destroy one of the robots where the little animals were imprisoned in one of Dr. Eggman's robots. So that was really cool. So a very simple wave. We got a second version of this where maybe the limbs were a little bit longer and he had plastic shoes. Cool. His nose, is on there nicely. I'm glad the nose has not fallen off. Very grateful for that. He used to have a gold string attached on his head, so you could hang him. And of course, it came with a regular big size tag. You could probably, if you look this guy up on eBay, you could probably see how he would look all put together. So unfortunately, mine does not come with that gold string, but I still really like him. Early on, some years ago, when I had a little a series of plush videos. All of these characters appeared in it. Yeah, I had a series of plush adventures, Sonic's plush adventures or something, for all the plushies I had. I had a team of villains, I had a team of heroes, and Sonic and Tails and Knuckles were basically the main characters, and it's very cringy. I was really into the plush craze, and the plush community, which I'm still am a part of it, of course. I still watch content like that from time to time, but I don't make it myself. Um, my content was, my attempt at a plush series. It had a conclusion. It had, a storyline. So I did do a episode where the main villain, who was the devil from Cuphead, who I had as a plushie. I gave it to my sibling. He basically sent Metal Sonic back in time, so kind of like Sonic CD, sort of. He sent Metal Sonic back in time to K-Word, um, OG classic Sonic, um, this being modern Sonic. At the time, I didn't have modern Sonic. I think I did have my classic Sonic plushie, and I think I just like substituted him as my modern Sonic and made this version the classic version, classic Sonic. Excuse me. So, like I said, Metal Sonic was sent back in time to K-Word Sonic, um, and he, but modern Sonic also traveled through time. I don't remember how I did it or whatever. Or maybe it was Reverse Flash. I think that's who it was. Maybe I didn't have Metal Sonic by the time I made that episode. I can't remember. Well, maybe it was my Reverse Flash from the Flash TV show, who was a plush. I think he was sent back in time by the devil to K-Word Sonic, and modern Sonic was able to travel through time and confront him, but I think he was in his werehog form or something. So classic Sonic wouldn't have recognized that it was himself from the future rescuing him, or something like that. I was creative with it, but I just thought that was very creative of me to come up with that concept. Um, but yeah, like I said, love this figure. I mean, love this plush, a piece of Sonic's history. I adore him. Like I said, I probably won't get rid of him, unless I was able to find one, put together with its original tag and the hang string. If for a good deal, then I probably would just sell this one off. I've thought about doing that with a few collectibles, like maybe I'll just sell this set and buy another set brand new or something down the line, or but yeah, that is Sonic, classic Sonic, and I will put him back in his little box. So like I said, this was the first Sonic plush released to the public. There was a prototype made that was only made just for the company to kind of get an idea of how he would look, I guess, as a stuffed animal or whatever. So here are my Jazzware Sonics, my One Boom Tails, my Classic Modern and Werehog, and my Classic Metal Sonic. Like I said, the other three, my Classic Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and the 25th anniversary Knuckles plushie. I'll probably get those back down the line. But these guys, like I said, definitely these Jazzware plushies are not, I would not recommend playing with these today because of the material, the fact that they are collectibles. I mean, this line is discontinued. I mean, Jazzwares no longer owns the brand. So if one of them were to get torn or ruined and you had no way of, fixing it, you would kind of be out of luck unless you were able to find another one for a good deal. So again, very charming. I adore these. Fun, loving Sonic plushies. Just my love for the character. in the franchise. I wouldn't mind getting the Jazzware Shadow plush. Eventually, I'll try to get my hands on that. So that's it for this video. I don't own any um, Sonic figures. I had a few figurines. I had a Jazzware Sonic back in the day. I sold that some years ago. Uh, uh, I did have the Nandoroid, which is a very well-known toy line. I had the Nandoroid Sonic. I had the re-release, which came with less accessories. I had that for a little while, maybe like a couple of weeks, honestly. And I was like, he's okay, but I'm good. Wasn't what I thought he would be. So I think I sold him. Like I had it for a week and then sold it like a week or two later, which is pretty funny. I saw that Nendoroid is making a Shadow because this year is supposed to be the year of Shadow. So, like I said, he's got this Sonic X Shadow Generations. He's going to be in the new Sonic movie, which is supposed to come out in December of this year. Um, all that good stuff. So they are making a Nendoroid Shadow, which looks really, yeah, which looks really good. So I might, pick that up. Just kind of like a chibi Shadow the Hedgehog. But yeah, absolutely. Why not make a Nendoroid Shadow? So I probably will get that in the future. Like I said, some of the Sonic movie plushes, particularly the ones from Sonic 2. I'd like to get those. Of course, they make some plushies for Sonic 3. A movie Shadow the Hedgehog plush. I definitely would love to get that. If they make figures, which I'm sure they will, if they make a movie Shadow toy, I probably would like to pick that up as well. Yeah, like so there's a handful. Some of the new Tomy toys, and there are some other GE Sonic plushies I'd like to get, and there are some of these old Jazzware plushies I'd like to get a hold of. So there's still a lot of Sonic stuff I'd like to get a hold of. This is just, Sonic stuff can be kind of pricey, and there's other characters or collectibles I'd rather have right now. So, in the future, I'll get more Sonic merch. But yeah, also funny story. This is about to be 40 minutes. I remember I had a Sonic T-shirt based off Sonic '06, which has a lot of history to it that I won't get into. Um, it had Sonic Shadow with silver on the front, and I think I got it from like Dillard's, Macy's. It was a white T-shirt, and I love that shirt because I like, okay, Sonic Shadow and Silver, all their game renders. Um, I love that shirt. I went to a birthday party, and being a kid, not being supervised, I fell into some mud wearing my white shirt. I know. Um, and a friend of my aunt's, because I was staying in my aunt's house during this party or whatever. Um, they said, oh well, I could take it back to my house and clean it up for them, and whatever, clean it up for you. Um, but my father, bad parent moment. My father knew the friend, but didn't know them. So he didn't remember their name. So it was like, you let this friend who you know them, but you don't know them personally, of my aunt being my dad's sister, take my shirt and my book bag that had mud on it to clean it, and it was never returned or whatever. So I'm sure I could probably find that shirt on eBay or something, but I don't know if they make it in an adult size. So yeah, I also had a Sonic shirt I really liked that I unfortunately got ruined. Um, like I said, that's it for this video. This 39-minute video. Oh man. Like, comment, subscribe. Next video, again, I may talk about Mystery Inc. There's another inexpensive vintage toy from the 90s that I have been wanting for some years now. So I'm thinking if I order that later today, then that will probably be the next video review. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and hang on for a minute. Stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.